Welcome back to the woods. Today let's make some cordage. Got this, which I believe is inner bark. Can't remember, I've harvested a lot of cordage material. So to start your cordage, you're going to want to twist until it kind of wants to kink over like that. See how it made that eye? So when you start, you want to make sure your ends don't meet. You don't want to start in the exact middle. It's good to have this little bit of extra space after this far piece ends. And that's important for later. I'll show you why. So you're going to want to grab your top piece. Try to get this close so you can see. Grab your top piece and roll with your fingers. Twist the whole thing away from you. Then grab the bottom and then twist the whole thing towards you. So roll the, sorry, camera's getting out of focus. So twist away, grab the bottom, twist the whole thing towards you. Twist away, keep the tension, grab the bottom, and twist towards you the whole thing. It's important to keep that tension the whole time. So you just keep repeating that process. And it gets very quick and very fast. The more you practice it, it just becomes a muscle memory. You can make this out of all kinds of plants. Like I said, I believe this is inner bark. It might be tulip poplar. I'm not sure. You can use the inner strands from like banana leaves. You can use yucca leaves. Milkweed is another good plant. I'll go over those later on. I think I'm going to do a more in-depth video to show how to do this and all the different plants and how to find them. But really, in the meantime, you can practice this skill with anything. You can practice this with cling wrap at home. I've definitely used plastic wrap a bunch at work places to make temporary rope for certain things. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the point where I can show you a thing. I've seen people make it out of hair. I think this is like essentially very similar to how yarn is made. This is a very old skill. This is how our ancestors made it. I think Otzi the Iceman had examples of this. There were some of this found in ancient Egypt, but Otzi the Iceman's way older than ancient Egypt, I believe. So, once you get to a point, I usually wait till there's about an inch left of the last tag material. It's about an inch there. I don't really count these little stringly bits, but right here, you're going to grab another piece of your material, and I like to leave maybe about a quarter of an inch hanging over. You just kind of twist it together. Sorry, I've got yellow jackets buzzing around me. And then you just continue the process. That tag will be there, but now it's already incorporated. And you just keep going. You just keep repeating. Anytime you run into a tag, you just, at the end of a piece, you just add in another piece. And you keep making it and making it and making it, and it lasts forever. Some of the stuff that you can use this for is, I really like to use this for shelter building. And I don't feel bad about leaving it behind because it's all natural. It's going to biodegrade. It's not like a piece of paracord that'll last, 1,000 years out here. Yeah, it's just really great for a lot of stuff. You can make bowstrings with this if you want. You just have to make it a lot thicker, and I would probably not use inner bark. I'd probably use plant fibers from leaves. So whenever I get to a point when I'm happy with it and I'm done, and I want to use this cordage or store it up, I'll show you what I do. Sorry, I should have been a little more prepared. What I'll typically do is, one, I'll go through, and you can burn the, especially if you use a more fine fiber than this, you can burn the, here's some example of some fine fiber. This is coconut leaf fibers. Very fine, silky material. But what I like to do, one, because it makes it look a little nicer, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'll go through and I'll find all these little bits. I'll use a pair of fingernail clippers and just snip them off. And these, you don't want to cut it too close, so I'll cut it usually about 1 millimeter away. And then just kind of work it in, and then it looks good. We'll clean some of these up. You can use like a tiny pair of, like I said, this isn't necessary, but you can use a tiny pair of scissors or whatever you want. A pair of scissors on a Swiss Army knife would work really good for this. And then how I like to finish, I'll get into my little belt pouch. I go over what's in here in another video. I like to get in here and to finish everything off, because I feel like this makes the cordage last a lot longer. Sorry, there's a bunch of fiber on there. I'll go through with a piece of wax, beeswax usually, press down on it, pull it through. You see it cut that groove in there. It's because it's getting deposited, and this is kind of colored beeswax, so you can see really where it's going in. But I feel like that makes it a lot more rot resistant, a lot more, I feel like it toughens it up, keeps the fibers down and everything. Yeah, so that's how to make cordage. This is called a 2-ply reverse twist cordage, is what this is called. There's other techniques for making cordage. I might go over those in future videos, but this is really just my go-to. So yeah, alright, thanks for tuning in. Get out in the woods and stay safe.